newspapers. I don't believe the news, 'cause all that they serve you are opinionated views. Don't switch on my TV, 'cause all they do is lie. And I don't need no programming telling me what to buy. But I believe the truth will set you free. I believe the truth will set you free. Don't believe in aliens. I don't believe in war or the reasons why they're for. Don't believe celebrities pretending to be what they ain't. Make poverty history, they say, holding the saints. But I believe the truth will set you free. I believe the truth will set you free. I believe the truth will set you free. Don't believe the justice system will give you what you deserve. It's all run by bad judges and Lucifer they serve. Don't believe banks are honest, they fleece you to the bone. When there's nothing left to get, they'll even take you home. But I believe the truth will set you free. 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 I believe the truth will set you free.
All right, guys, you're live. It's nice to be here. Hello, Matthew, Hakim from Southern California. It's a pleasure for me to have you here. For the third time, it's a charm. How are you,
Nice.
Matthew?
Oh, I'm feeling great, man. Everything seems to be well, and I'm really enjoying your show. I mean, your shows have been pretty good so far. You know, all of them, and
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to today's show as well. I'm going to talk about the KHANS.
The KHANS. Let's do it. Let's do it. All
Yeah.
right. So shout out to Iron Horse. He's in the house. Whistle Blows, RRP, Oxbow, Spirit, Frank Hungerford from Elmira, New York. Hello, everyone. So we have an interesting show today. Matthew, I want to go ahead and get started with this part here. Really interesting stuff I came across. So this is our flat Earth map. Shout out to Dimitri in Russia for restoring it and Robert Tuzzi for enhancing it even more. So you won't believe what I came across this past couple weeks here. So first of all, I want to say to subscribers or the people there, I don't think that Egypt was in America. What I believe is that they could navigate and to all parts of the world, okay? So they navigated from Egypt, from North America. And two things, Matthew, I want to share with you, extremely interesting. First of all, this one here. Look at this newspaper article from 1841. It's an Australian newspaper, the Sydney Gazette of New South Wales Advertiser. It ran from 1803 to 1842. So this particular article
Okay.
from 1841, look at this guy. Now, in the discovery of America before Christopher Columbus, okay? So in the session that the Royal Society of Northern Archaeology of our city, Copenhagen, held a short time ago, Mr. Whitman, one of its members, read a letter written from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, by Dr. Land, in which this learned Danish geologist announces to the society an important discovery he has just made in an excavation he caused to be made in the environs of Bahia, Brazil. I'm going to show in the map on the map. He found a fragment of a flat stone covered with rune characters, deeply engraved by much damage. Having succeeded after long research in deciphering some words, which he discovered through the island language, he learned the excavation to be extended in all directions, and soon discovered the foundations of houses in cut along with stone, which from the architectural affinity strongly resemble the ruins which exist in the north of Norway, in the island and upon the western coast of Greenland. He caused a continuation of the excavation for several successive days and finished by finding the statue of the god Thor, okay, the god of thunder of the ancient Scandinavians, with all his attributes, the hammer, the gauntlets, and the magic girdle. Now look at this, where he found this stuff here. Bahia State in Brazil, and look where Norway is right here. Okay, so there was,
Yeah.
before Columbus, they had a city, Scandinavian city in Brazil. All right, so look
Yeah.
how crazy it is.
When
This
was
changed
that
history
newspaper?
completely.
But when was that newspaper?
1841. Okay, I'm gonna
Okay,
paste the
so
link
what?
on the chat.
But what was going on at that time? It's like there were
You-
people making discoveries that contradicted the narrative that the controllers were pushing at that time. So these people
Exactly.
could have been, you know, arrested and just thrown in an insane asylum and got a lobotomy, and that was it. No one saw them
Uh,
again. But they found, like, you know, beautiful things, you know, like that resembled things from thousands of miles away, which it's impossible. That's what I always say. It's like the historical narrative. It's all been fabricated.
oh
What
yeah,
I think
totally.
happened around the time of the Civil War in the United States, it was like all the controllers had to create history from scratch. They all had to agree on, like, they all had to say, okay, Napoleon, okay, yeah, he made us look good. He made other people look bad, but it builds this false narrative that we can build upon a false narrative if we all agree. So the French controller, probably they were Masons, they created Napoleon, and they set up a whole history about Napoleon and what he did. And then the Russian controllers, you know, and the Tartarian controllers, I don't know if they were destroyed at that time, but the Russian people, they had to create their whole history from scratch. They created, you know, their, what, Catherine the Great or whatever, their ancient heroes. And everybody had to agree. It was like in England, they're like, yeah, you know, we agree Rome existed. They said approved, you know, they all could have been sitting at a table with a manifestation of the Prince of Darkness, you know, and they were cutting up the earth like a birthday cake, deciding
Right.
who got what, and they all agreed that they had to create a false history because the truth was so much different than what they were telling. The truth leads people to God. Their lie was just meant to confuse the people. And that led us to
Totally.
this current state we're in now. In, you know, where we are now, I mean, people are definitely waking up to the truth. It's turning out that the Bible is 100% solid. No matter what the people tried to do to pervert it, it maintained its core. They could never destroy the truth. And so I think right now that's why it's getting so much worse in the media, TV, whatever. They're blatantly being satanic. They're putting it, whereas in the past they would hide it. Maybe they were ashamed of it. But in the time we're in now, you see like a major character like a Taylor Swift, mass mind control over the people. What does she do? It's all Satan. You can see the video of that. That's probably one of her most famous videos. And then look what they do to the men. Like, who's a famous man celebrity? Snoop Dogg. What did they make him do? Put in a ballerina outfit? I don't even know if that's true or not. I saw the commercial where they make him a dog. I thought was like, that's racist. How'd they do that to Snoop? Humiliation. But that's the current state we're in now, is the people, we're all so confused. We're also, without God, without the truth, the people, they're just totally lost. And as pertains to Genghis Khan, he was a character that the Chinese controllers, I don't know if they were Masons or they were just satanic reptile thing, whatever, that just something bad started and it contaminated the people's mind. They later did a genocide of the white people in Asia too, and that's even in the mainstream historical narrative that it's true. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's actually happened. So that's how bad those people were. And then what happened to the Tartarian people? It was like a sci-fi war where they were destroying. They've destroyed everything, and whatever they did got out of control. And somehow, it's like, how did the United States buy Alaska from Russia, and the United States also bought the Midwest from France? You know what I mean? It's like, oh, we magically just have all this money to just take what we want, and the country was already built. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
But for Genghis Khan, I get off track when I'm doing my rants. But for Genghis Khan, he was a character that was created by the Chinese controllers of the time. He was supposed to be a role model for the people to follow. In the United States, we got George Washington, right? We got the founding fathers. They, for better, for worse, they set it up that slavery could be abolished. Their words, even though they owned slaves at the time, their words still were powerful, even though it was a totally fabricated history. I think the Freemasons in the United States gave us good character role models to follow. That, in the sense that, like what did George Washington say as a kid? Like, he cut down the cherry tree and says, I cannot lie. And he admitted to it. That's the mythology, that character did that. Or after winning the war, they wanted, see, it's all fake, but they wanted George Washington to be king, and he refused. You know what I mean? That's the role model that we got in the United States, where we didn't want to have kings anymore from whatever reason. They put that in the story to be like a guideline. This sounds pretty crazy, but you know what I mean? Like, when people had to start again after the most recent cataclysm, which I think was around the time of the American Civil War. Everything, the events of the assassination of Abraham Lincoln being in a theater, right? Now, was that guy John Wilkes Booth, was he just an actor? And then the same guy that played Abraham Lincoln, did he also play Jefferson Davis? You know what I mean? It's fake. We were given a history. And for Genghis Khan, his history was that he was like the opposite of a God-blessed person. I call these people Satan blessed, that Satan will help these people do evil on the earth. Same way God will bless people to do good, like to heal and to teach. This character of Genghis Khan was meant to be like a terrorizing person, assaulting every woman, like every person in his group. This is in the story, right? They assaulted every woman they could find. They enslaved every man they could find. Anyone that fought, they just murdered. Now you can tell the story's fake because Genghis Khan's enemies made every mistake, or they just gave up. That's in the history. Can you imagine that? Like, no one fought Genghis Khan. No one stopped him. It's a fake history. But that's just what it was. It was like his enemies lost. He conquered everything, every part that was in that area. And people take the history and then they pass it down. It's like history becomes like a religion, and then religion becomes like mythology, and then mythology just gets forgotten. But where we are with Genghis Khan, it's like he's part of the history right now. They didn't make him like a religious figure. You know, Xi Jinping didn't make like a Jesus Genghis Khan yet. But like I said, he was like a role model to follow. And his story is terrible. And I'm not making this up. This is just from what I've gathered from him, that his parents were married. This is what I think. The mom was already pregnant with him. The group came, stole the woman, took her, and in the story, the woman tells the man, "Just escape, you can get another wife." That's disgusting. What man wouldn't try to protect his wife, right? But that's their role model. That's what they were told. Just, oh yeah, run away. Let the people steal your wife. Go get someone else. But that's their history for him. So the woman's already pregnant with him, right? Genghis Khan or Temujin, he's already in the womb of this woman. The other man, they say his name is Yasuge. He sees her, captures her, so he takes her as one of his wives. So now later, there's this whole history that happens of the Tartarian Empire was at war with like the father of Genghis Khan, right? Or the adopted father through capture, right? And then that guy is killed because he went to a party, right, in Tartaria. They recognized him and poisoned him. So now we have little kid Genghis Khan. This is the story, little kid Genghis Khan. Now, what does he do? He kills his older brother. The older brother is the biological son of Yasuge, who is the adopted father through capture. So if you see what happens, how the guy steals the woman and she's pregnant and the baby kills his biological son. See how the ironic twist or the yin yang goes in that cycle?
Yeah.
So what happens later is, as you know, he just goes on to do everything. But the interesting facts that I found, certain interesting things about the names. Okay, Temujin. Jinn, that's like a word for demon or devil. I think that's like a Muslim term in the Quran or something, like jinn or jinni, right? And then Temu, surprisingly, that's a new app to buy products from China, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but maybe you've seen Temu.
Yeah.
So we got Temu Jinn, right? We got Devil Shopping app. And then Genghis Khan, which, do you see how weird that is? His name is one thing, but in history we're given different names for the same character, which I think is interesting. But to dissect the name Genghis Khan, it's the same thing. Gen is like jinn, and then Gis, that reminds me of the language geese, which, if I'm not mistaken, is like an Ethiopian language, geese. So Gen, geese, devil of their language. And very funny thing, Khan, that's similar to the name Cain. And what did Cain do? He killed his brother. just like Genghis Khan. These are their characters. These are like devil characters that the people, they idolized and they emulated, and they followed that pattern. Just like in the United States, the people followed that pattern. And then they had like World War I and II. And then I'm not sure what's going on now. You know, I'm in the United States, you know, born here, you know, and I don't know what's going on. It's just craziness. It's Satan. It's just the people. It's money. I don't think it's the end. I think it's like a restructuring. I think we're living in a very special time, you know, but
Definitely,
we're following it.
definitely. Hmm.
But you get what I'm saying about it's a role model. Like it was a role model for people to follow, and they followed it. Just like in the United States, they tried to follow it the best they could. And when I was young, they did the Pledge of Allegiance in the school. So if you're some of your viewers in the United States, maybe they can corroborate that we used to. I mean, when I was little, right, like 6 or 7, we would have a record. Go get a record, right? Pick a patriotic record to sing. You know, Star Spangled Banner, or what is it? Our country 'tis of thee. You know, sweet land of liberty. That's the stuff they put in people's heads, that we're free.
Right, right, right. Yeah.
Cool stuff, man. It's I didn't mean to talk so much. I'm interested by the thinker, so I don't want to just
No,
talk
no,
the whole
no.
time. I want to
Yeah,
see this,
yeah.
what you're sharing here. What is that?
Okay. This is so we have this map here. This is the genealogy of Genghis Khan, and this map was
Yeah,
drawn. This genealogy tree here. You see Genghis Khan here. And now his descendant.
yeah,
Okay, and this was done in
yeah,
France by a French guy in
yeah,
1719. Right, and if you go to this website, this guy he does sell old books, you know, for thousands and thousands of dollars. And this
yeah,
map was extracted from this book here, which is called Genealogies of the Czars, whatever.
they all
So it's
created it. See that? They
yeah,
created it. Just like, look at, they said, look at, this is what it is. And then they say, look at and then if you zoom in on that, you can show how they don't have like every direct one. It's like they suggest you are a descendant from here. And that's how they claim. What is the guy's name? Halasi. They say he's a direct descendant of Solomon, and then they show a lineage, and it
right, right.
breaks. Like if you see it, it doesn't go directly to straight down. It suggests that branches come from certain air. See that? It's like they just created it.
This thing is always
They had to
present, you
just,
know.
yeah. That was probably their order, like how the controllers were able to do precisely that. It came
Right. So
from
this
the top down.
right.
But
So
do you see
this
how it's all just perfectly like, oh, this came from here, this one went that way?
yeah. So supposedly this was drawn in 1719. Yeah, it's one of the only ones that I've seen. The whole genealogy of Genghis Khan. And according to that documentary, I watched it on YouTube. Uh, the Russians, which was also like they decided to take over the whole Tartaria land, right? And where is the map?
Yeah,
Go
something
back.
happened there. There was some type of war, like a
Yeah,
sci-fi
right.
war they did.
So they took all this land here, and nothing of this is taught in schools, nothing. And, you know, like the whole Tartaria stuff. So
And it
another
looks
thing that I
nice. I mean,
want,
if those rivers are real.
yeah, The
You
other
know,
thing
like
I want
how it looked.
to,
Like,
okay,
no, I was just saying, like, why would?
I downloaded your
Uh,
pictures, Matthew. I'm gonna show you in a minute. Go ahead and finish your thought.
oh, I did not want to interrupt you, but that area looks very nice, like where Tartaria used to be, or maybe there could be still ancient ruins there. Like, why would they just leave it abandoned? Why would it be empty? You know, what is there? You know,
Yeah,
look at how
because
much
those
that's
were
like the whole
kingdoms,
half.
you know?
Yeah, they'll find beautiful everything. They'll find things that we're not supposed to find there.
Yeah.
They probably agree to that. That's why I think it's so strange about history. It's like the famous quote from Napoleon. What does he say? History is a set of
A set of
lies agreed
lies
upon.
agreed upon. Yeah,
And then that's
that's
funny
right.
because he himself is a fabricated character.
Yeah,
It's
it's
funny.
just a
It's
character.
yeah, he's a character. Um, yeah, that's some good stuff. What is that?
All right, so I want to show this. Look, Templo de Minerva in Guatemala. Okay, so Minerva was one of the Greek
Okay.
goddesses, right? So there was a temple
Wait. I
there.
think Minerva is Roman. I think Minerva is the Roman version of Athena.
Athena, yeah,
I
that's
could
right.
be
Right.
mistaken.
You're right. Athena, Greece, and Minerva in Roman. So they had this
Oh
temple in
wow.
Guatemala, and guess what happened? They destroyed. You know, they destroyed the temple of Athena. And going back
Yeah.
here, that's why I have this. You know, so you have Guatemala here somewhere in Central America, and
Yeah.
definitely they
What a
sailed.
shame.
Oh yeah, they sail, man, from that region here. You know, that's why
You
they had
know
this
what? Okay.
temple of Minerva
Okay.
in
I think it
Guatemala.
went opposite. I think it went opposite. Honestly, I think it didn't go from Egypt to United States. It went opposite.
Okay, all right.
It went from after the flood of Noah's time. Okay, like if you zoom out on the that Gleason map, like can you zoom out on it a little bit? Do you
Yeah,
see how there's like a missing area? Like if there was say four corners of the earth, right? If there was four ends of the earth. See how there's one that looks like it's probably missing?
yep, right here.
Those people probably went underwater from the flood.
Yeah,
They didn't make it. God did not let the water maybe a little bit has, who knows, but that area is empty. I'm curious about that area, but what
well,
I'm
you know,
saying is
they talk about there is a sunken continent here called Zealandia, you know, in around this area.
Zoolandia. I
Zealandia.
think
Yeah,
I heard that.
they say there is a sunken continent in
Yeah,
this region right here.
and
Yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't there near one of the Japanese islands they found like underwater pyramid, underwater perfect
Yeah, they found.
stone?
Yes, they found.
That's my point. Is that when the flood came, there was the earth was this worldwide kingdom, and they were already in United States. It came from
Oh
United
yeah,
States.
definitely,
That's what I
definitely.
think. I don't disagree with those graphics, but I think it just went opposite. It went from like United States to Egypt. Then from Egypt, they gave the knowledge to the rest of the world. And it's
Right,
proven that's correct because Plato went to Egypt to learn about Atlantis. And
right.
when Jesus was a baby, when his parents took him to Egypt, they had to escape. And then obviously when Jesus came back as a child, he had advanced spiritual knowledge. You know, it just they don't say he got it from Egypt, but it's just the knowledge was in Egypt. It's like an esoteric type thing. Then they gave it to the Greeks and so forth. But it first came from the United States. That's my opinion. Probably,
Okay.
you know, whatever, light of fancy. But I think it just went because they're lying about the history in such a way. The opposite's probably true. Like Alaska. What is the name of Alaska? The last frontier. bogus? What if that was one of the first places that they were able to
Oh
like
yeah.
go to? Right? They
Yeah.
left. They went from America to like Alaska and Europe, and then they just kept spreading. But like I said, there was the genocide of the white people. There's a strange history that the Earth was more like they were more advanced. This previous civilization that don't know what happened. Did they all die? Did they all go underground? But they just left these huge cities that's impossible for modern people to do. Like these star forts, it's not just the star fort itself. It's the river, the channel, the magic channeling that goes around the star fort. How is it possible they made rivers do that? You do you know what I mean, Brother Eddie? You know what I mean about that? How did they make
Yeah.
rivers do that? And I see it all the time in my area, like perfectly straight, huge rivers, man-made, and like how did they do that? How did like cowboy people with horses, like,
Right.
how did they
Yeah.
do it?
I
And it's
got
it's impossible to that.
you. Okay. Now
And
my
yeah, I
thoughts
realize
here,
that too.
you may be
Channeling.
right. Yeah, you may be right. They may have left this region and gone to those because my thoughts are, I've been talking about this since we started talking about this whole thing. Like they had a free movement, they could go anywhere they wanted. Actually, this whole Thor might have originated from here and going back to Norway. This might be the starting
Well, do
point,
you
not the,
do you,
it could have originated
do you
from
have a
here and
picture
they,
of it? Do you
yeah,
have a picture of this?
I don't, I just
Look, can
have
we
the
see it? Like,
article.
is it a European? Like, is it a European Thor, or is it like a South American, like how the indigenous people look? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
they'll
yeah,
have the
I don't
same
have,
deal, but they'll make it look,
all I have
because
is this article.
yeah, that's interesting. But it's like I'd like to see that because maybe they destroyed that in that article
Oh, yeah.
because it was
Remember,
too revealing.
remember last time we had the show and we're talking about the Egypt in Tennessee, and the guy said they found all those things, and where are they? It's all gone, it's buried or whatever. So they probably destroy, they see, they find, perhaps they take to the Vatican what they can, what they cannot take it, they just destroy or
Steal the
bury.
gold,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Steal the
yeah.
gold, blow it up, pour a bunch
Exactly.
of concrete over it.
So,
It's
it
terrible what
might
they
be
did,
the
but they can't
opposite.
hide everything.
Just like you said, it might be the opposite. Maybe the whole Thor thing originated here and they brought to Norway, you know, instead of, we don't know. We don't know. I mean, we don't, all I can say is that this whole area, they could go freely, you know, they just went. That's my opinion.
Yeah, definitely.
And
I mean, even in the
yeah,
Bible, it says that those beings they could fly through the air quickly. I think
right,
they could fly as spirits, but they could very well have aircraft or blimps in the past, some type of way to fly like we see. I think some of these UFOs might just be that, like they know how to use positive and negative energy. I don't know too much about that, but I kind of like understand the concept how like if they could do something to their charge to raise them,
right.
like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so, I'm not sure how to explain it, but it makes more sense than the fake gravity theory. And I do think that electrostatics theory that I've heard does have a lot to it because we can actually see that. We can
Right.
see
Yeah,
electrostatic working. We can't see gravity working. We can't reproduce it. Like that's important. Like these concepts, they have to be demonstrated. They have to be actual. Like the demonstrations that I do, I'm not using CGI. I'm using like actual things, like I've shown you some of my stuff. It's like I'm recreating things like from geocentrism. I'm using Earth-based science, and then all my projects, they're working. They're working pretty good. But the people, the Globers, would not be able to Oh, could you mute that one?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
can you mute it? Yeah,
yeah.
just mute it because the music will start. And I use free music, but YouTube said that might have a copyright. So just mute it. Okay. But yeah, Globers cannot recreate anything. And I've gotten into interesting debates about that, like about the moon. They cannot recreate the moon cycle with heliocentrism. Now what I'm showing here, this is the two suns phenomenon demonstrated. The top half is what's going on, like the firmament. What I used is flat, clear plastic. I used 4 pillars. I used a flashlight above it. So the light, I'm demonstrating that the light is being projected down through the flat, clear firmament. Okay, now, so that's the top half, what's like at the firmament level, right? Bottom half is, as you see, it's the Gleason's mat, right? And I'm using a glass dome magnifier to represent how our perspective works. Now, on your show, I've seen that you have a graphic that does show how the luminaries move above the earth. You know what I'm talking about? It's like a beige picture, and it shows this from above. It shows that our perspective will, how do I describe it? You see how it's like an eye, how the dome magnifier is like an eye? It's just like a lens also. The light is collapsing around the lens. And if you can see it, I'm not sure if you can zoom in on it, but can you zoom in on the bottom one?
No,
Okay,
I can't zoom in on videos.
Okay, well, I would say maybe if the viewers, they could look for themselves. This is my channel, Matthew Hakim, YouTube. But as you see, there's an image of the light being projected down, and it's on that dome magnifier. Can you see it?
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, right there. Yeah. That's the sun we see in the sky. That's the sun that our eyes see. This video, I called it One Sun, Two Names. First, or Jairus. Second, Thomas. That's from Book of Enoch. Now, the reason we see two suns sometimes is the light on the other side of the firmament, sometimes it's visible. The moon does that also, which is why you could see it like that. It's coming straight down, but our perspective captures it. The stars do it. We know what we used to call, stars, wandering stars, the moon, the sun, any other luminary God creates will behave like this. But most of the time, the image above is not visible. Sometimes it is. I'm not sure what causes it. I think it has something to do with moisture or a mixture with electricity, or I don't know how to explain what makes it happen. But what it is that the sun is a light, just like the Bible says. God created two lights, one to govern the day and one to rule the night. I think that's depending on the translation. But that's what it is. It's a light being projected down through the firmament. When we see rainbow rings around the sun, what I think that is it's coming straight down through like 6 like layers. That's what I think's happening. That it's coming through layers. I don't think I can recreate that though. I'm not sure how I would be able to recreate that, how I think it's actually happening. but yeah, that's why we see the ring, and that's this. Thank you for showing that video.
Yeah,
I just wanted to
great
share
video.
with that because people are curious about the two suns thing, and it's not like a Nibiru. You know, people have fear about that. No, it's just like how it shows here. We only see that little sun in our perspective. You know, we usually don't see the light that's casting it. But yeah, that's that one.
That's
You
good.
know,
That's good.
and the moon. There's a picture you show of the moon, but that's the point. Is it's not reflecting it. It's coming down. Like, can you show that picture where you have it like it's a light? Yeah. See, it's not. It's coming. Imagine it on the other side. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
we're in
This is the
we're
reflection. It's just like here, I have a light bulb and the reflection
yeah
on a glass window. This
yeah.
is not
But
a
that
mirror, it's just a glass window. And this is
no. But what I
reflecting.
mean. Yeah. See how? Okay. It's like we're on the other side of that window, looking at those lights, but we would only see the one in our vision. But it's hard to explain. But you know what I mean? The lights are in the firmament, but
Right,
on the
right.
other side. We
Yeah,
we are in the firmament, like inside of it. Do you know what I mean? Like the
yeah.
birds fly in the firmament. You know, we're in the firmament. The sun, moon, and the other lights, they're within the firmament. That it's hard. It's almost like people have to just like figure it out, you know, almost. But it's coming through. Just and that image is cool. The moon, that one's cool. See how one is dim? One is more dim than the other. Usually we wouldn't see it, but that's where it's being projected from.
yeah, just like the light bulb here.
Yeah, but I would say the light bulb thing it's like opposite. We would be on the other side because the firmament represents or the glass window represents the firmament.
All
Yeah,
right.
just like
I,
that. See, one is dim.
I
Excuse me.
got another picture here of yours. If you want to talk a
Oh
little bit
yeah.
before we have a break.
Well, that one, I want
Yeah,
to, okay, that's Petra, right? Now, see
yeah.
how that looks? I sent you that to like do a comparison. You know what I mean? Like compare and contrast. That's the one picture, but then the other one is in my area. Like if
That
you
one.
can try to zoom in on that,
Mhm.
and then there's something there. I actually want to share this at a later time because I have other videos. Yeah, see this is up there at that giant tree stump. See that? And then in front, like if you go down, like to the left and down, look at that. See how that looks carved? That wasn't like that wasn't just some random lava dirt.
Yeah.
That was
It looks like
something.
square. This is it
Yeah,
look like
but
square.
there's a different thing that I'm gonna record with a drone. It was I think dangerous to climb up there, and I was climbing. I was like, yeah, I can't get up there, so I'm gonna get a drone. But I would like to share those videos like another time. You know what I mean?
All
Because
right.
I'm not finished with compiling that information yet. But I wanted to share that with you because I've always been curious about that and looking at it with new eyes, like new spirit eyes. I can see that that's something. It was like a giant tree stump that they built something on. And then there was a cataclysm after they built it. You see that? How
And
that's beautiful.
this
And
looks
there's
like
more things.
structures or whatever.
Yeah, it looks like almost like a statue, almost like they're like a carving. But
Yes.
yes, that one I would like to share a different time. But if we could share the full moon video, that one actually I think is a little bit, well, not more important, but Globers always talk about craters on the moon, And the video, like if you could click, I don't know if you have it there, but it's on my YouTube page.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to your YouTube page. Let
Yeah,
me.
that because I was recently like not arguing, you know, having a conversation with a Glober
Hmm.
about that, and they would say that it's craters on the moon, and I sent the video clips, and I said, yeah, a crater is not a glowing ring. How is a glowing ring a crater, right? How is a light, like a spot of light on the moon, created by a collision of another rock in fake outer space? You know what I mean? And the video I made, like if you could find it, I'll describe my method, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm getting there. Okay.
yeah, the method I used, I'll tell the audience. It's what I did was I was recording with the Nikon P1000, right? It was the full night of the most recent full moon, I think. I have it labeled on the video. It's like August 31 or something. So I point the camera where the moon's gonna be, right? I in the video I have the times written down with, you know, the good spots. But how I recorded it was that I have the camera facing directly where the moon is going to be, right? With the tripod locked, everything locked, maximum zoom on the Nikon. Oh, that's cool. And so what I did was
This
I
one?
wanted to have, yes, well, yeah, full moon. Yeah, so what I wanted to do was just let the camera just record on its own without, okay, can you please fast forward it to 535? Yeah, and then watch. And can you make it bigger? Watch, 535. Okay, now watch this. This is not craters. Okay, now when I was recording this, I was having a moment because I was like, I have never seen this before. I have never seen a video like this before. Like, do you see that? That looks more like stars or little constellations. See this? This is not a
Yeah.
rock. And also, if you notice, like you can notice it's like in water, like it's wavy.
Right.
See that?
Definitely. Seems like swimming.
Yeah. It's and I have a couple different times written down. We don't have to look at all of them because they do take like the moon. I think it maybe takes 2 minutes to get through. But as you see here, this is not a rock. This is not craters. This is like, Eddie, what do you think? What would you
Well,
describe that?
I was just talking about this yesterday with someone, and to me, it looks like a jellyfish, like something that's alive. To me, it looks
Yeah,
something like it's alive swimming, like those see-through fish, those see-through fish, because sometimes you
yeah,
can see daytime, you see through the moon, you know?
yeah. And my brother Mike, he had a good observation. He says it looks like under a microscope.
Yeah, yeah,
And
definitely.
yeah, and I would say that I was looking at the video, right? It takes time. I was looking at all the clips, and it does look like there are faces. It's strange.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, I'm
yeah,
not saying it is. I'm not saying it is faces. What I'm saying is that it does look like faces, different types of faces. Not the clip that you showed, but like on the whole video, like because I do it like 10 times or so. I think like 9 or 10 times where I just set the camera and it records, and it does look like faces. And I was thinking about what you were saying about macrobes. And I'm like, are
yeah.
those
I
things the
remember that.
macrobes?
Perhaps
Are
they
those
are
the
good.
macrobes? And so my brain kept clicking, right? My brain was clicking. And I'm like, okay, if these are like eternal beings, would they be just moving around all crazy like how we are? No, like to the eternal beings, they would just be like, they may not even move. Like if they were looking at us, like if you remember how movies used to be on film, how it would be like 24 frames a second. You know what I mean? And that's how you would watch a movie. Like every second there would be, I'm not sure, like 24 or whatever frames to make 1 second. And then a movie can have, 90 minutes, 2 hours, right? So the macrobes, to us look like frozen in time, but they're eternal. That's just flight of fancy, imagination, but it does look like faces, and it's in the video. That one you showed, it doesn't show the faces, but one looks like an alien, one looks like a man with a beard, one looks like a smiling guy, some look like little constellations. One of them looks like a right angle, and I thought that was pretty strange. But it's just proof. Like if you ever want to show that video to a glober that's telling you that it's a rock, that moon is a rock with craters, it isn't. It's a light. The moon is a light in water. Blew me away. I'm telling you, it's truth, Bible truth.
All right. So a couple shout outs here. My friends from Brazil, Sétima Visão. He has a flat earth channel there. Don Carney and Dark is present. We got about 80 people watching us right now. Yes. Warm regardings from us here. So guys, I'm gonna show a couple of a trailer. First of all, shout out to Vika Draziv and all the crew, Keith, Cameron, and Gene Edit, and all the crew from the Realm, which is coming up in October. I'm gonna go ahead and display the trailer. All right, let's watch this trailer real quick here. A Mechanical Realm. All right.
"2,000 years ago, a shipwreck created a time capsule. Hidden beneath the waves, untouched by time. The secrets it held would challenge our understanding of the past and reveal the incredible ingenuity of our ancestors. Journey with us as we dive into the depths of history, uncovering the enigmatic ancient marvel that defies the limits of its time. Rediscovered a century ago by another shipwreck, nature seemed to guard its secrets, preserving a device that would rewrite our understanding of ancient technology. The mechanical realm beckons us to unlock its mysteries. Through history, archaeology, astrophysics, and astronomy, we embark on a quest to decipher the intricate workings of the past. The pieces of the puzzle come together as we explore the convergence of art, science, and philosophy. A true masterpiece of craftsmanship. Gives us a glimpse into the minds of ancient engineers and their quest to understand the cosmos.
Testament to the importance of astronomy in ancient Greek culture, reflecting the desire of Greek astronomers and mathematicians to understand the workings of the cosmos.
A lot of these scientists, pseudoscientists, because they have a lot of claims with very little evidence, if any, especially when it comes to the shape of the Earth and with astronomy and what we see in the sky. A lot of what we see, what we observe in this realm, contradicts what we were taught to believe by these scientists.
The geocentric stationary Earth model, common knowledge that the Earth was stationary and located at the center of the universe, with the sun, moon, and luminaries moving around it in circular path around the Earth, was widely accepted by philosophers, astronomers, and other scholars.
And realizations would come to them. This subtle science process is possible today as well, but so few endeavor to achieve this. Few are even aware of these timeless, subtle sciences, which are far more profound than today's solely materialistic sciences.
Scientific literature is clear on the fact that several psychological rhythms and collective behaviors are not only synchronized within the solar and geomagnetic activity, but also destruction in these fields can create adverse effects on human health and behavior.
This body is a combination of all these sides together in one device, working in perfection, reflecting the movement, the only movement, about to a geocentric stationary platform.
Prepare for an extraordinary journey where hidden truths come to light. The secrets of the mechanical realm will redefine our perception of history and reshape our appreciation of the past and shape of our Earth. Get ready to witness the unveiling of the extraordinary, a geocentric stationary flat Earth working model that has defied the passage of time. The mechanical realm awaits you.
All right, that's the mechanical realm. So, Matthew, I want to take some time now to explain what's going on, okay? And
All right.
to all my friends, my subscribers. So I posted on my, if you guys go to my uh, channel, the community there, I posted that I'm gonna be finished. I'm not gonna have live streams anymore, even though I love having. Those are my three last ones. I'm gonna have James Souther. He's gonna bring a Bible study. After that, we're gonna have Vika Drziv talking about the mechanical realm. My last show is gonna be, my last live stream is gonna be with Billy Zig. And the reason why I decided, I'm gonna explain right now. So for a couple of you know that I have been having some health problems. That goes back to 2018, 2019. I didn't know what I had until I came across this video here. This video is from a lady, and she was showing how healthy she was. She was a mountain climber and doing all that stuff, all activity. And then her life turned upside down, you know, and she didn't know what she had. And that's exactly describes me in 2018. I didn't know what was going on with me. I was exactly like this lady here. And then this is me today. You know, sometimes I have some adrenal crisis and I feel like that I can't walk, I can't do anything, you know. So one of the things that this thing causes, it's called adrenal insufficiency. It's not enough cortisol. I have low blood pressure. Okay, low blood pressure. So back before I knew I had this stuff, I went to one of the best cardio hospital here in Japan, and I had this exam. It's called angiography. I was put inside this machine, and they hooked a whole bunch of stuff on my body. And they, at certain time, they inserted what's called iodine or dye or mercury into my blood so the machine can see the veins inside my heart, okay, to see if there was any blockage. They concluded there was no blockage at all. My heart was fine. But my problem is that sometimes I have low blood pressure, okay? So I have had a couple of problems, and this day here, when I had this exam, the cardiologist told me, once we inserted this dye into your bloodstream, it's possible that you're going to pass out, but we have the whole team here ready in case that happens. So I didn't pass out at this moment here when they took me out of this machine once the exam was finished, and they took me to a separate room, and they told me, you stay here until the mercury washes out your body, drinks lots of water, go to the restroom. At that moment, I passed out. Okay, there was a guy next to me. I told him, "Listen, I think I'm going to pass out," and I didn't see anything. When I woke up, I was on a bed. The cardiologist was by my side with three nurses, and I had my legs lifted up. And then I asked, what happened? So, well, you fall backwards. And then, so Friday, I sent you a message, Matthew. Friday, I was here at home and I was having breakfast, man. I was eating my crackers here. I was not looking at the computer. I was right here, man, having crackers, looking outside. Suddenly, man, I felt like my heartbeat was painful. I didn't feel any chest pain or anything, just the heartbeat was painful, like a couple seconds. And I felt the same sensation, man, like things were going darker and darker. And I thought, well, I'm going to pass out. Like my brain was like, I'm going to pass out. And I'm alone at home. I stay alone until 4 p.m. when my daughter comes home from school, my wife at 5:30. Man, in a split of second, I remember what the nurse did to me, told me that my legs had to be up. I threw myself on the ground, on the floor here, like because I was going to pass out. So I threw myself down.
But you knew what to do in that
Yeah,
situation. You knew to,
yeah, man. I had like half a second to think. What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna pass out, and then I threw myself down, lifted my legs, and then I didn't pass out. But I have been feeling terrible since Friday. I had my classes canceled on Friday, so I feel like I'm not feeling well. And I need to take a break. I love what I do as far as work, and I've been having a lot of pressure because back in November, my sister in Brazil, she broke down. She fell down, broke her hip, and she's the one taking care of my parents. And I've been sending money for them since November. And then on top of that, they are all jabbed. Now they're having complications with that stuff. And I worry about my parents because they were taken. They didn't volunteer. Now my sisters took them. Okay. And I have somebody who said, well, I have no sympathy for people who took the jab. I understand. I didn't take it. I feel sorry for my parents. They were led to, but it's
yeah,
still, if a lot of people make mistakes because they are led to, like if we think like that, we shouldn't help the homeless because sometimes in life they made mistakes, or the prostitutes or the drug addicts. If we think like that, man, we shouldn't help anybody because everybody makes mistakes. But I've been under a lot of pressure, and I think this is also having some kind of impact on my health. So that's why, guys, I never did this before. I never needed. I have, I can support my family. But if you guys can help me out, order some items from my store, that would help a lot. I can send some money to my parents in Brazil. I don't make much. I make like $5 on a mug and $10 on a T-shirt. If you guys can help me out buy some of this stuff, I mean, just that I'm under a lot of pressure right now, and I need to start slowing down. I love my flat Earth life. I just got a present. I wanna share this with you guys, and I love this. I just got it as a present. This is the second clock that I get. This came from Finland. Okay, it's a 24-hour clock, and the sun. It's a There's a magnet here in the sun, so I can move the sun like Tropic of Cancer and Capricorn. Thanks from my friend in Iceland. He sent me this. It's a 24 clock. I thank you guys, but I don't want to be getting presents anymore because I'm very pessimistic about my life right now. Guess what happened, Matthew? Like, do you get those flyers in your mailbox sometimes?
yeah,
Yeah.
advertisement.
Yeah,
Junk
so
mail.
junk mail. So crazy thing, man. Friday when this happened, I've been here in Japan now for 10 years, and I lived here back in the 90s. I never got any how do they call, like, funeral homes advertisement. I got Friday, man. There were some on my mailbox, like $6,000 for cremation. I was like, what's going on, man? Is this like that was crazy, man. Friday was a terrible day
I
for
don't
me.
know. I don't know what to even tell you. pray for you, man, for your health, your happiness. I'm sure your viewers, everyone's going to pray for you, man.
Thank you.
Everyone loves your work. Everybody loves your videos you make. I like your live show.
Thank you.
That's so. If you feel like you want to take it easy, hey, do what you feel comfortable with. Do things at your own pace. In the future, you may want to do a show in the future. Maybe you will be a guest on a show. Maybe.
Yeah. Maybe.
You don't have to do it like every week. Maybe that's what's stressing you out, is you had a lot of things scheduled and you have a lot of good research for the live show, and yeah, just take it easy. You don't have to stress yourself out. But the shows are great though. So that's my point of view. I would say I enjoy the shows.
Yeah, I enjoy
cool.
it too, Matthew. And I wish I can put out a lot of information. You need to wake people up, So my urge of always, that's why I put out a lot of videos, because we need to wake people up. The only way we can change what's going on is by waking people up. And I feel this urge, man. We need to wake these people up. But it's just like, my body's not helping me anymore, and health or whatever is going on, and I need to.
But your mind
take
is
a
still
break.
good though. Your mind is, and your spirit is still strong.
Yeah.
But the
yeah.
body's weak, and I understand that.
That is weak.
Yeah, it's but just take care of yourself, man. Just be healthy, and do things that are good for you. Don't stress out.
All right. So let's just reiterate what we discussed today. So this is Petra I think it's in Jordan, right? Jordan?
Yeah. That was I'll go with a drone. I'll send you that video because I got a drone, and as I was climbing, it was just too dangerous. So yeah, that's Petra. And
that's
then
Petra,
I sent you that because
this
it looks
one
like
is yours, California.
Yeah, that's in Fullerton. Yeah, that's in Fullerton. That's where the giant tree stump is. And I think what they did was they used it. In modern times, what's up there on the other side are big tanks, like water tanks. What they're doing is the city is getting the water from the tree stump because the roots are still pumping the water, and the city's just collecting it and selling it. But there's infrastructure there from before that they didn't make. Like there's concrete up there, there's paths up there, there's sewer systems up there.
Wow.
And then there's nothing, right? And all they have is these big white tanks that are pumping the water out. So what I think is the tree stump, it's still pumping water. But the people did this after. Like I'm not sure during what cataclysm they started making that, but they did it. And then where we are today is just the city is selling the water, and they have a chain link fence up there that's broken down. It's like an old rusted chain link fence. That's the only thing up there. Is just they don't, and people go up there, walk their dogs, they ride bikes. There's houses right to the maybe to the left of there. There's like fancy houses, and then down beneath there's like a baseball fields, and then on the other side of this hill is LA County. This is like the border between LA and Orange County. They're like hills. But it's cool. To be there, it feels good, and to see these things, it does something maybe to the subconscious to see that like structure underneath the dirt, like that was buried. Whatever that was, it's like that got buried, and then they started doing other things on top of it, and you could see it's like square. Like how would just lava make that? Like how would lava make that? Or
no way. Maybe this was a giant statue or something, or a temple,
The whole area. That's just part of it. It's like, can you go to the right? Go to the right and then look, it keeps going. And see that?
Yeah.
It keeps going. And it's very interesting. Like I said, I'll take the drone up there because there's a specific stone. Okay. Where is it? To the middle. Can you kind of go to the middle? Maybe you could see it. There's no, I don't think so. I'll send you the video. I'll send you the video of it. There's a specific stone that it's not that one. It's a specific, like a rough square stone that looks totally out of place. And that's what I was climbing to, but it was dangerous. So that's when I decided, like, yeah, I'm not going to fall off this cliff. I'm going to send a drone to record what I want to see. So I'll send it to you, Mel. I'll show you.
Okay. Now, Matt, there is a place in California, I don't know if it's Malibu, where the erosion is on the beach is showing like some structures, right? Have you seen that?
Yes.
Let me see if I can find here.
On one of the videos I made, I want to share it with you, but if you look at my page, there's a pipe, a rusted out pipe that goes into that, what I showed you in that picture. It's up there. Actually made videos when I was climbing before I turned back, because I was making videos as I was climbing, but I stopped. I was like, yeah, I can't keep going. But when I was up there, I recorded that there's a sinkhole that exposed a pipe that goes into the hill. And it's like, how did they make it? How did they make it like that? What would make them do that? It's not crazy because it's real. You know, if it would be crazy if I imagined it, but I recorded it. It was a sinkhole that exposed the pipe underground. And then another video was that there's broken up concrete, and I'm recording it. So I'm like, what did they do here? Did they try to find something? Like they found some ancient ruins and broke it up, and they just threw the concrete to the side. Jerks.
Yeah. I was trying to find that one in California. I don't think think it's like in Malibu or something that it's being washed away by the sea, and they are showing some structures there.
It was the hotel, I think, that on top of the hotel,
it's that one.
Pillars underground.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to find that.
It's like, what is the right question? How did pillars get underground? No, that's not the correct question. It's like, what made it that the pillars ended up underground?
Exactly. Who built those, you know?
If you find that picture, it's cool because
I'm trying to find. I think it's this one here. Okay. I think I found it. I think it's this one. So let me share my screen again. Add to stage. Okay, I think it's this one here, right?
I think, yeah, not the one on the left, but yeah, the big one. Like it just got exposed.
Yeah.
And that's not lava. That's not. I think that could be it.
Yeah, I think it's this one here.
Old. Yeah, it's so old. It's just, and it's proof.
Exactly.
It's like, what is it proof of? What is this?
I think it's this one. So what's going on here? How come this structure existed there and being covered by mud? See, it's this one here.
It's like ancient Greek columns, right?
Exactly. The erosion is showing this stuff.
There's no way for that to be explained by the mainstream narrative.
Exactly.
There's no way. It is just like flat Earth destroys the mainstream scientific narrative of cosmology. This truth destroys the mainstream narrative of history. It puts it backwards. That's why I say it didn't come from Egypt to United States. It went from, well, not United States, but America to Egypt, because it was already here. And the people were a worldwide people.
Exactly. It
It's
was pretty much worldwide. Yeah.
yeah, they were all different colors, maybe even different types of worship. They all had
Right.
elders. They all it's a
They
lot
spoke
comes
one
to mind.
language. They spoke one language.
Or they had a language that they used, right? They could have
Yeah.
spoken their individual, but maybe they all met and spoke English, perhaps.
Yeah. Yeah. Whatever
You
language.
know what I mean? Like 200 years ago, they could have all been speaking English, and then they just, you know what I mean? Like it was all from the controllers. I think it was like God had a hand in it, Satan had a hand in it, humans did what they wanted to do, and it's on the individual to figure it out. I can't figure it out for someone else, because I don't know everything myself. I just look at the evidence, and that's a very interesting picture of that. What you show of the Greek-looking columns
Right.
in
Right.
the
Right.
in the earth,
In
in the
Guatemala.
earth.
That's Guatemala. Guatemala.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
it's cool. It is.
It looks like those columns. That one in California. It looks like these columns right here.
Then the people destroyed it. That's so bad. That's
Yeah. Destroyed,
but that's
man.
what they chose, the jerks, right? And they took a picture of it so that they wouldn't forget it.
Yeah. All
Right.
right, Matthew, we are approaching the end of our show, 75 minutes. It's Monday
And
morning here. Still got a full day, a lot of things to do. So, Matthew, I don't know what the future will hold. Who knows? I don't know what's going to happen, brother. And
hey, we're
it's,
all gonna pray for you, man. You might get some good health coming your way, because I'll pray for you, and I know your viewers also. They love your work and you. So yeah, of course, people will pray for you.
all right. Thank you,
You
Don.
know?
When I finish the show, I will ping. I have my store and I have my PayPal. It's the only way. I don't like using PayPal, but that's the only way. I'm in Japan. I cannot have. I will pin to the top, my PayPal account if you guys feel like it. I appreciate everybody. Thank you so much. It's been a nice ride. I love the shows. I really do interact with different people from all over the plane. We had
Yeah, it's cool
Iron Horse
talking
from
with you.
Australia,
You're a cool guy. You're a cool guy
Matthew,
to talk to. I mean,
Matthew,
I don't have a lot
California.
of yeah, I don't have a lot of opportunities to talk about, flat Earth with people. They don't get it. But yeah, you're cool to talk to, knowledgeable. And
Thank you.
if you get more healthy, or I would say just remember that people like your shows.
Yeah, and I
People like
love the
it, and
people.
if you want, yeah, if you want to relax, you want to just kick back, hey, do it.
All right.
Yeah,
So,
just
guys,
do it.
thank you so much. Just notes here for those in the USA. There's a nationwide test on October 4th. Should we be turning off our electronics? I don't know if Eddie, you have looked into the emergency test they are doing on the 4th in America. I know I've been listening a lot about that stuff. We had one here in Japan. I almost had a heart attack, man, because nobody told us. And now our phones start ringing. No, and we were not told about it, man. I had to run outside
Getting ready
because
for
it's
World
not
War
only the
III.
alarm. And they
Well,
say,
no,
run outside, run outside. We all went outside,
yeah.
man. And it was
Well, I
crazy.
mean, what will happen if it does happen? It'll be quick. In
Yeah.
China, Korea, Japan, Taiwan, Philippines, Vietnam. You know what I like? I like AUKUS. AUKUS?
Caucus.
Australia, UK, the United States, they have the submarine fleet. And they did a huge deal to share stealth sub knowledge, allegedly. That's what they tell the people. I like it. I hope you guys are safe there. But yeah, it when it happens, it could be so quick and so much devastation. It would be like
Yeah.
a legendary human battle that people would talk about.
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't happen.
Right.
It would
All right,
it would be
guys.
the biggest war of all human history. Would be what's starting will be the biggest. You know.
We are about, things are getting crazy here in Asia. China is going to take Taiwan back. They are already circling Taiwan, and Taiwan's not far from here. Things are going to get really ugly here in Japan. I love Japan, but the whole thing is going to change. Those are the controllers.
They're
So,
desperate.
guys, I don't,
They're
I
very
don't have a
desperate.
Patreon. Sorry, I don't have a Patreon. I did have a Patreon for 1 week. I decided not to. I don't want this commitment that people have to. If you feel like it, thank you so much. And Matthew, again, it's been a pleasure. But we could stay here for 3 hours. I know, but I have to go. Thank you so
All right,
much.
stay strong, man. Stay strong. Keep doing it, or just stay healthy. And you focus on your health, your family, your prayers. Whatever you want to do. Just enjoy it. And I've certainly enjoyed being your guest. I've really appreciated the conversations, the information. Who
All
knows what
right.
the future holds?
Yeah, I don't know. So thanks, everybody. Matthew, I'm going to go ahead and remove you from the stream. We will touch base later on my message. Thank you, brother. God bless you. All right.
Bless you
Bye-bye.
too, man. Bye.
Bye. All right, guys. Oops, Matthew's back. Okay, he's gone now. So, guys, thank you so much for being here today. It was my pleasure and a privilege. It's always a privilege for me talking to you guys. And thank you so much. God bless each and every one of you. And I'm gonna try to do what I can, and I'm still gonna make videos. I still have 3 more shows that I have scheduled. One with a Bible study with James Salton, whatever his name is, Salter. And then we have Vika Draziv talking about the new documentary Mechanical Realm. And then we have Billy Zig in the house, good friend from Australia. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to all my friends, to RV Truth. Shout out to Dave Device. Shout out to Vika and everybody. All my friends in Brazil and in Europe. Thanks for the beautiful presents. My 24-hour clock. Very nice. Can't wait to hang here, my living room. So thanks, everybody. God bless you. I'm going to close with my favorite song, David J. Carroll. And God bless all of you. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Wonderful, magical, celestial light, fantastical, mystical, wonderful sight. Belgian Swiss physicist Auguste Piccard, 1931, first to reach for the stars, was the first to explore the air view stratosphereus, a scientist curious to see what was there. An aluminium black ball on a helium balloon, hydrogen with photos and instruments, sailed towards the moon, rose in just half an hour, 52,000 feet, 10 miles up, depth air pressure, up a dead drop in heat and cold, but disproving gravity. Wonderful, mystical, beautiful sight, flat line separation of black from blue light, a world run by deceivers, false make-believers, hiding in shadows, stealing our light. Mystical, fluorescent light, wonderful, magical, reach up there. Divine luminescent light, mystical, wonderful, celestial light. So what was their eternal testimony? What did they report back to humanity? Said it seemed like a flat disk far as eyes can see, with an upturned edge fading into infinity. A mystical, ethereal, celestial sight, a divine creation, a clockwork of light, designed hid by deceivers and false make-believers, still cowering in shadows, still fearing our light. Here we go, higher than Everest, higher than airplanes, above their own fuels, higher than air. A level horizon, 360 around us, no motion beneath us, no spinning road there. Stars on the firmament, turning all around us to forever show time as geometrically there. You'll never beat us, you'll never defeat us, forever beneath us. We see through you like air. Mystics on a luminous light, fantastical, magical, bright. We see through you like air. Magical angels of light, beautiful, wonderful, celestial light. The first to see truth when they reach for the stars, explorers and physicists, Kipper and Picard. Never you'll defeat us, forever beneath us. We see through you like air.